One of the weirdest things about being me is having the answer to existence, literally having it, literally knowing I have it, knowing that it is what each of us in this world needs, and being here amongst you all, and none of you wanting it. It is so strange for me. I have this treasure of understanding. I have it for myself, and I can give it to everyone else without losing any of it for myself. Literally the greatest treasure one could bring in this moment in human history to anybody. I can give it freely without loss to myself. And none of you want it. Can you imagine being in that situation yourself? I invite you to try. Thing is, if asked to imagine what would be the greatest treasure you could be given, none of you would imagine it. You would imagine something very different indeed. And so, because it doesn't tally with your lie culture influenced imaginations, you shake your heads like that treasure is a fly that has buzzed into your ear, and you look around for something familiar to you instead. This treasure of understanding I bring, it teaches us to value, protect, and support our children. This idea may run contrary to everything you have been taught to hold dear, and you may wish to shake your head and look about for a familiar idea. But my teachings do explain why this does actually make sense. There are real reasons, I promise, why we should not hate our children, why it is a good thing for you to not hate our children. But you cannot comprehend them if you are point blank unwilling to listen to them in the first place. This treasure of understanding teaches that every living person, every living being shares the one same eternal soul. And it teaches that each individual self is a unique expression of that one eternal soul. This may sound fanciful, it may sound heretical, but the understanding of it turns out to be the very simplest and most self-evident of understandings, not the most subtle and mysterious. It teaches that being the eternal is the very least special aspect of any living being, for it is, by its very nature, a thing that can never be escaped by any of us. This treasure of understanding teaches us that we have problem solved for mortality throughout our shared human history so far. when all along the problem we face together and should always be problem solving for is that of being eternal. This treasure of understanding teaches us that being the eternal is neither inherently good or inherently bad. It is neither inherently heaven or inherently hell, but can be either, depending on the choices we make in the face of it. While we problem solve for mortality, we problem solve for a problem that does not exist. And so, while we are doing this, our choices are incoherent with the truth of our shared situation, which can lead to hellish experiences for no other reason than that we simply do not know, do not understand what we are doing. This treasure of truth teaches us that our amnesia of our eternal past is a natural part of an eternal cycle, just as our emergence from the amnesia is also a natural part of the eternal cycle. This treasure of understanding teaches us that self-love, born of self-compassion for even being eternal in the first place, it comes first, and that it is from the establishment of that self-love that love for others, love for our children, and love for our shared existence can be emergent. Do the outcomes of these teachings sound disgusting to you? Do these teachings sound bad to you? Foolish and fanciful and ill-informed? Because they only result in coherency, the love, protection, and nurturing of ourself, the love, protection, and nurturing of our children. I understand that may sound disgusting and wrong to you, but truly, it is only because you are confused, which is not a sin, cannot be a sin, for we have all been subject to confusion, born of amnesia, and the amnesia of our parents, the amnesia of our eternal self, together. I understand that all of this will sound alien and strange to you. I understand it. It can only be that way. How shall an understanding of the truth not sound alien and strange to you when all your life you have only been given lies? One of the weirdest things about being me is having the answer to existence, literally having it, literally knowing I have it, knowing that it is what each of us in this world needs, and being here amongst you all, and none of you wanting it. If any of you are in the slightest bit curious about what a non-religious Jesus has to offer, even if it is only a morbid curiosity, I have been making videos for the past 4 years. If any of you have ever wondered, even fleetingly, what it might actually be like to not betray your children, just as you were betrayed as a child, my videos are here, and I am here